I am the true heiress of a wealthy family. The night before returning, I dreamed of my 3 brothers favoring the fake heiress, while the fake heiress was ungrateful and vicious, ultimately causing the 3 of them to become disabled and disfigured. My name is Aria, raised in an orphanage. Just today, I was informed that I am the child of the Lee family. In the living room, Charles, Catherine, and their 3 sons were all present, but the fake heiress was not. Catherine looked troubled. Aria, Joanna is kind and innocent, she definitely can't accept that she's not our child, so. Charles, you return as an illegitimate daughter. The eldest, Adrian, said coldly, it's just an identity, what you're entitled to won't be less. The second, Damian, muttered softly, Joanna is my sister, is this family crazy? Sipping yogurt, I turned to Leo, who was sitting beside me and had been staring at me. The yogurt was given by him. He quickly waved his hands, I'm not with them. He'd better not be. Ignoring the surprised looks from the other 4, Leo cautiously approached me, Aria, how about we go out and live well? 3rd brother earns a lot of money, I can definitely support both of us. Oh, there's actually a normal person. Sure, let's go now. Leo excitedly picked up my bag, yes, yes. Catherine frowned, Leo. Leo pulled me behind him, I didn't even reach his shoulder. I couldn't see, absolutely couldn't see. I could only stare at Leo's white shirt. Mom, I can't bear for Aria to be associated with such an identity. Protecting me like this on our first meeting? Damian's tone was very unpleasant, have you thought about Joanna? Of course. Leo was very righteous, she enjoyed Aria's blessings for over 20 years and still tries to continue occupying what belongs to Aria when Aria returns. Exactly. Damian was choked with anger, what are you saying? Joanna didn't want this, she's innocent too. Leo grew increasingly irritable, innocent? Then who induced you to make Aria an illegitimate daughter? Twins wouldn't work? Even an adopted daughter sounds better than illegitimate. Seeing the atmosphere becoming increasingly tense, just as I was about to pull Leo away, a sob came from behind. 3rd brother, how could you think of Joanna like that? I subconsciously wanted to look back, but Leo suddenly pressed my head into his chest. My nose. What are you doing? Leo released me and awkwardly rubbed my nose, sorry, I got nervous. Are you okay? I glared at him, turned around, and saw Joanna with exquisite makeup, crying like a pear blossom in the rain. She looked so pitiful. Joanna looked at Leo with teary eyes, 3rd brother. Leo ignored her and whispered in my ear, you can't sympathize with her, she's a bad person. Do I look like I'm overflowing with sympathy? I pulled Leo, let's go. Actually, last night, I had a dream. In the dream, Joanna didn't know that she and I were switched at birth and truly thought I was Charles's illegitimate daughter outside. So, Leo wrongly accused her, she didn't intentionally guide them. I didn't accept the identity of an illegitimate daughter and directly left the Lee family. No one protected me, including Leo, they all revolved around Joanna. TSK, who am I? Even if I'm an orphan, now I have some small achievements. What's the big deal without family? Besides, this kind of family found halfway, just passers-by. After I left, Joanna stole Lee Corporation's secrets for the person she liked. Later, Lee Corporation went bankrupt. Charles and Catherine died. Adrian broke his leg. Damian broke his hand. Leo was disfigured. Too tragic. I originally thought to come and see if the dream was real. Because before having this dream, I hadn't seen Adrian and the others. If it was real, I wanted to try if I could save them. Sigh, very regrettable. Given their attitude towards me, why should I bother? Even if I said it, they wouldn't believe me. I accompanied Leo to film. He's an actor and very popular. Leo's assistant Sean brought a small stool for me, and we watched Leo act together. Sean kept sighing in my ear about how handsome Leo looked and how good his acting was. Every sentence, he would turn his head to see my reaction. I nodded like a pecking chick while sipping milk tea in agreement. Indeed, he looks really good. Just like me. Little girl, are you interested in a cameo role? The director walked to my side, smiling at me. I stared at Leo and shook my head. The director stuffed some snacks into my hand and left. I just divided half the snacks with Sean when someone else came. Hello. I looked up with candy in my mouth. She was wearing very gorgeous costume, which didn't quite match the tone of Leo's play. Hello. She looked a bit familiar, but I don't think I've seen her act. Not sure, let's look again. Sean quickly stood up and offered his seat. Teacher Sue, please sit. She ignored Sean. From my position, I could see her clenching the hem of her clothes. Are you Leo's girlfriend? Such an abrupt question. No. Her eyes were full of distrust. Then who are you? I didn't answer her directly. From my experience, she probably, maybe, possibly likes Leo. What does it have to do with you? Go ask Leo. Why come ask me? If I were Leo's girlfriend, wouldn't she be too impolite? She held back until her face was bright red, looking like she was about to cry. Probably her agent came over, glanced at us, and directed the spearhead at me. Even if you're teacher Leo's girlfriend, you can't bully people. I waited a few seconds. She just stood there, making it seem like I really bullied her. Sean was stunned for a moment but now regained his senses and immediately stood in front of me. You misunderstood, we didn't bully her. Just as I was about to speak, Leo's voice came from behind them. What are you doing? Leo squatted beside me and took a candy from my hand on his own. The agent was indignant and superior. Leo, your assistant and this woman bullied our Yvonne. Sean angrily, we already said we didn't bully her. Leo darkened his face. What, this woman? This is my sister. My sister wouldn't bully someone for no reason. It must be you who provoked my sister first. The girl didn't speak, her eyes looking at Leo were full of infatuation. I touched my chin and thought, glancing at the girl's face again and again, she really looked familiar. Where? I remembered. In the dream, she seemed to stand beside Joanna. But except for Leo and his 3 brothers and Joanna, others in the dream weren't very clear. So she probably, maybe, possibly isn't a good person? I pulled Leo, cleared my throat, and said affectedly, she likes you. Leo very straightforwardly said to the girl, I don't like you. The girl was still on the previous topic. Don't you only have Joanna as a sister? Nonsense. Leo held my wrist, I only have this one sister. Back in Leo's lounge, he looked at me very seriously and solemnly. I also looked at him very seriously and spoke before him, don't get close to her, you'll become unfortunate. Leo looked at me in surprise and hesitation, wanting to say something but stopping. What? He thought for a moment, how about brother personally cooks today? The topic changed too fast, right? I looked at him puzzled. Whatever, do it if you want. He let out a long breath, making me a bit baffled. Remember, don't get close to her. Yes, I'll handle her tomorrow. I nodded and turned to meet Sean's eyes full of confusion. I thought for a moment, took a pack of QQ candy and stuffed it into his hand. Brother Sean, in the future, don't let women with ulterior motives approach my brother. Sean looked at the candy in his hand, then at me, his gaze gradually firm. Yes. Leo said faintly, Aria, you haven't called me brother yet. I turned to him and smiled, brother. The next day, I followed Leo to the set. I didn't see that girl. Well, with the Lee family's capabilities, replacing an actor is a matter of minutes, right? The set was a bit boring too. After going a few times, I didn't want to follow Leo anymore. On the first day I stayed alone at Leo's house. 2 uninvited guests arrived. Adrian and Damian. The 3 of us silently stared at each other. Aunt brought fruits over, 2 young masters. I've already called Leo, he'll be back soon. When leaving, Aunt winked at me. They calmly took out their phones and muted them. Deceiving themselves? How do they look not very smart? Don't I have a phone too? I answered Leo's video call. Leo was removing makeup in the car. It seemed he rushed back immediately after receiving Aunt's call. Aria, what did they say? I turned the screen towards the 2 brothers. Damian lazily leaned on the sofa, speechless. We didn't have time to say anything. What are you here for? Damian showed a standard smile, to see our sister. Adrian still had that cold and indifferent look. We've discussed with Mom and Dad, let Aria return as an adopted daughter. I scoffed lightly, not interested. Leo, right. We're not interested. Leo suddenly chuckled over there, then somewhat meaningfully, big brother, second brother, I estimate you won't take long to regret it. What deep meaning? After Leo returned, those two still didn't plan to leave. Leo sat on the same side as me, smiling. Big brother, second brother, not leaving yet? Damian, what, we can't stay for a meal? Leo continued with a kind smile, you cook. Adrian. Damian. In the kitchen. I looked at the two who were obviously experts, then at the one standing at the kitchen door without stepping in, and asked puzzled. Didn't you say you wanted to cook before? Leo coughed awkwardly, I. Damian mercilessly laughed out loud, TSK, dogs wouldn't eat what he makes. I stared at Leo expressionlessly. What did you mean before, using me to test poison? Leo's eyes wandered, then he hugged me. Brother was just saying casually. Smart as I am, of course I noticed Leo was off. Others were just like in the dream, but he was different. He doesn't favor Joanna anymore. Could he have dreamed too? Or, if the dream is real, perhaps, he was reborn? Whatever, anyway, he's good to me. After some peaceful days, someone came again. Aunt went out to buy groceries. I opened the door, didn't even want to let Joanna in, just talked at the door. Joanna glared at me dissatisfied. What are you doing? Can't I come in? This is my brother's house? Humph. I shook my head. No, I don't like you, and my brother doesn't like you now either. Why should I let you in? Leo aside for now. But me, why should I like her? Even without that dream, I can dislike her. She wasn't wrong about the switch at birth. But the fact is, she enjoyed my blessings for over 20 years, and I suffered her hardships for over 20 years. And the later non-hardships were earned by myself. Can't I dislike her? Yes, I can. Joanna was furious. What nonsense are you saying? Third brother likes me the most. I impatiently tapped the doorframe. What do you want? Joanna stomped her feet angrily. How can you keep living at third brother's house? I didn't back down. Me living at my brother's house, what's it to you? This is my brother, you should move out. I slightly squinted and sized her up, suddenly understanding. In the dream, after I left, the fact that she wasn't the Lee family's biological daughter was brushed aside, and no one mentioned it again. I gave her a nuclear-friendly smile. They haven't told you yet, right? What? You're not the Lee family's child, I am. Joanna's pupils shook. What nonsense are you saying? It's a fact, go ask your parents. Mom and Dad said you're an illegitimate daughter. Wasn't that to take care of your feelings? Leo later told me that when they were discussing my identity, Joanna overheard by chance and casually said, is it Dad's illegitimate daughter? I've always not hesitated to speculate on others with the greatest malice. This is malicious guidance. But Charles, Catherine, and their brothers just favor her. I don't know if Joanna is love-brained or inherently bad. For a man, causing her own family to be ruined. In the dream, she never knew she wasn't the Lee family's child and even adhered to the theory that parents owe no gratitude. Now that she knows, she should at least have some gratitude towards the Lee family. If she has any conscience, don't steal secrets again. Joanna murmured impossible. Then, I saw her glance to the side and unhesitatingly step back a few steps. Behind her were stairs, so naturally, she twisted her ankle. After all, only 5 steps. Then she fell to the ground and silently shed tears. I also silently watched Damian quickly approach and heartbrokenly help Joanna up. I sighed, so Joanna is inherently bad? Before Damian could make trouble, I pointed to the corner. There's surveillance here. Joanna desperately stopped Damian from watching the surveillance. I took out my phone and pulled up the footage. See clearly, your Joanna sister fell herself. I estimate she also tried to frame me. By the way, I've already told her she's not the Lee family's child. If she's kind and innocent, she should know she has no right to be arrogant in front of me. Please watch her and don't let her come trouble me again. I outputted a barrage, and Damian seemed stunned by what I said. I slammed the door shut. Suddenly thinking of Leo, I opened the door, looked at Joanna, and don't come find my brother again. Then quickly closed the door. Through the surveillance, I saw Damian standing outside for a few minutes. During that time, Joanna kept speaking anxiously, but Damian seemed distracted and didn't respond to her. If Damian isn't brainless, he should see that Joanna isn't that innocent and kind. After they left, I called Leo. The voice on the phone was slightly indulgent. Aria, what's up? Joanna and Damian came earlier, I drove them away. Over there, the voice raised, well done. Then instructed me again, Aria, in the future when I'm not here, if they come again, don't open the door for them, let them wait to death. I estimate I'll wrap up early today, let's go out to eat tonight. And go shopping. This play is almost finished, after filming, I'll rest for a while, and we'll go travel. Sigh, I quite like the feeling of someone brainlessly standing on my side. Back from travel, I was shocked to realize my comic career seemed neglected for too long. Before I catch up on progress, I don't plan to accompany Leo to the set. Today while drawing at home, I received Leo's call. He said Joanna and Damian had a car accident, he's going to check, won't come back tonight. After hanging up, I thought about it. In the dream, Damian's car accident where his hand was disabled was after Lee Corporation's bankruptcy. So now, there shouldn't be any big problem, right? The next day, Leo called me. There was silence on the other end for a while. I guessed lightly, is Damian seriously injured? A hoarse voice came from the other end, Aria. It was Damian. I want to see you. What do you want to see me for? I couldn't help but maliciously speculate, do you need a blood transfusion? Or does Joanna need it? There was a commotion over there, I heard Leo cursing, what do you want with Aria? Damian's voice sounded slightly tired, Leo, you. I couldn't hear clearly, is he so weak now? After a while, Leo's voice came through the phone, Aria, you go ahead and be busy, I'll be back soon. Oh, okay. I thought for a moment, do you need me to come over? There was silence on Leo's side for a while, maybe he covered the microphone. Aria. I'm here. I'll have Sean pick you up. Okay. Outside, Aunt had already made dinner. I thought. Brother, have you eaten? Leo, not yet, Aunt made dinner, I'll bring it directly. Good. Aunt only made dinner for 3, so I packed one on the way. At the hospital, I looked, Damian seemed fine. I handed the packed food to Damian. The dinner for 3 meant me, Leo, Aunt. Damian only deserves packed food. Besides, the packed one cost me several hundred yuan. I turned and opened the insulated container with Leo. Leo smiled, eating while glancing at Damian. After eating, I sat by Damian's bed, glanced at his barely touched food. What do you want me for? Damian stared at me for a while. Aria. My eyes were full of horror, when did we reach the point where he could call me like that? You've been living at Leo's for a long time. I was about to curse. Come live at my place. Leo cursed before me, ignoring that this was a patient, though he seemed uninjured, he pushed Damian, what did you say? I kindly came to take care of you, and you want to steal my sister. She's my sister too. Get lost. Who said before that only Joanna is the sister? Damian pursed his lips glaring at Leo, despicable. Leo raised his head and hummed lightly, pulling me to leave. Damian held my other wrist, unwillingly grabbing Leo with the other hand, then I'll go live at your place. I looked at them, then turned and saw Joanna and Adrian at the ward door. The ward quieted for a moment, finally broken by Joanna. Joanna's voice was very hurt, second brother, you don't like Joanna anymore? Get lost. The disgust in Damian's words was extremely obvious. Joanna held Adrian's arm whimpering. Adrian looked at me thoughtfully, casually comforting Joanna. Sigh, tired. I pulled Leo, brother, let's go home. Yes, yes. Leo responded extremely gently. However, Damian shamelessly pulled me, Aria, take me back with you. Leo pretended to pry Damian's hand, don't pull and tug. While tentatively discussing with me, Aria, how about, bring him. Whatever. Leo immediately released Damian, heard that? Pack up yourself, don't think of letting Aria help, I'll handle discharge procedures. I looked at him helplessly, I'm not blind, I can see he wants to bring Damian. When leaving, Adrian also followed. Using the excuse of worrying Damian hit his head and might have a concussion, he first had the driver take Joanna away, then naturally got into Leo's car. Leo stared at the three in the back through the rearview mirror. Me, Damian, Adrian, all squeezed in the back, Leo driving. Sean had gone home long ago. Damian looked over me at Adrian, big brother, I'm really fine. I'm not at ease. Leo said faintly, our plastic brotherhood, when did it become so deep? Adrian was as calm as ever, starting now. I looked here and there, I'll go to the passenger seat. Adrian didn't wait for me to finish and immediately opened the door for me to get out, and conveniently opened the passenger door. In the car, I looked at the two behind, pondering myself. Damian, just knowing Joanna isn't kind, doesn't explain suddenly clinging to me. According to my previous guess about Leo, he might also know Joanna's future actions. Adrian seems not yet. 111, but Leo and Damian, even if they start hating Joanna, there's no need to get close to me, what if I'm like Joanna too? After Damian lived with us, he started competing with Aunt for chores. I stood at the kitchen door, Aunt looked at the spatula in Damian's hand with an expression like her partner was stolen. Second young master, I'll handle this. It's fine, I'll do it. Damian did it very happily. Hee hee ha ha ha. Looking at Aunt's expression, she simply wanted to drive Damian out. I hadn't accompanied Leo to film for a while. Today, me and Damian both went with Leo to the set. The one sitting on small stools watching Leo film became three. While we were munching seeds and appreciating Leo's performance, the production's investor came. The three of us looked around, the good-looking investor walked straight towards us. Like the female star from the last set, strangely familiar, can't remember temporarily. I specially looked at Damian. His expression was very vivid, vividly portraying gnashing teeth, eyes almost spitting fire. I poked him, who is he? Damian stared tightly at that person, Joanna's fiancé. I looked at that person a couple more times. Damian quickly blocked in front of me. Don't look at him looking human-like but doggy, actually not a good thing. Second brother can introduce better ones to you. I rolled my eyes at him, I just looked twice. The investor dismissed the people around him, exchanged pleasantries with Damian, completely ignoring Damian's stinky face. His gaze seemed to always faintly fall on me. So, I started staring at him while munching seeds. Look then. See who can outstare whom. He looked at Damian, I heard you and Leo prefer the newly found sister? Finally, he contemptuously glanced at me sideways. Probably thinks I've appeared for not long, didn't take me seriously at all. But I endured, temporarily didn't make a sound. In my heart, I secretly compared, Damian paints Chinese paintings, Leo acts. Adrian currently probably still sides with Joanna, equivalent to siding with her fiancé. Sigh, without Adrian, don't know if those two can afford to provoke this person. While I weighed, Damian very impolitely retorted, what's it to you? You've been engaged to Joanna for quite a while, when are you marrying? No rush, Joanna is still young. Not young, she's 25 in nominal age, rounds to 30. Me who just turned 23. Hate nominal age. Then they had a verbal battle, anyway, I didn't hear anything valuable. Until Leo came, his reaction was much stronger than Damian's. He clenched his fists looking like he wanted to fight, I rushed over to stop him. Public figure, hitting people like this isn't good. Calm down. can't calm down at all. Really, let Damian do it, seems not okay. What if he injures his hand? How about I do it? Calm down halfway. He suddenly looked at me strangely. What do I need to calm down for? I saw you looking like you want to hit someone. Not hitting people. I understood his subtext. What he wants to hit isn't a person. That investor left. Leo and Damian huddled together whispering. I didn't hear a bit. I pulled Leo and Damian to sit on the sofa. Thought for a long time. I suspect they know something. They probably suspect if I know something. Might as well show our cards. Leo exchanged a glance with Damian, then looked at me. Aria, what do you want to say? I pondered. Let's not mention his disfigurement first. I know the Lee family will go bankrupt in a year. Their faces turned pale at once. Damian, you were reborn too? Reborn? Ah, as expected, but something's off with him. His voice trembled later. Not really. My eyes swept over them, very interested. When were you reborn? Leo spoke extremely fast. I was the day before you came to Lee family. He was the day of the car accident. How did you know? I pursed my lips. Actually, I wanted to ask why they were reborn, to what extent they experienced in the previous life. I just had a dream. Damian, dreamed up to when? Seeing them strangely anxious, I spilled everything. After speaking, seeing them obviously relieved. With my keen intuition. Do you know what happened after that? And what happened after should be related to me, otherwise, it doesn't explain why they are so good to me after rebirth. You saved us. I glanced at them, their faces looked ugly. Then changed the topic. Adrian hasn't been reborn yet. Speaking of this, they immediately changed their expressions. Their eyes flashed with excitement. Damian, how about, drive and hit him once? Me, possible. Damian's eyes lit up, taking out car keys. Sigh, no brain, but bold. Leo, very criminal. If you kill Big Brother, you'll inherit the family property. Oh no, you'll go to the police station. Leo hugged me and sighed. Aria, looks like only we inherit the family property. Me, whether there's family property for us to inherit is uncertain. Damian. The next day, accompanying Leo to the set, unexpectedly saw Joanna. She wore a light green skirt and ran over. Second brother, third brother. Leo pulled a long face. Why are you here? I'm acting as your sister. Sean looked confused. Sister? The male lead doesn't seem to have a sister. Joanna tucked her stray hair behind her ear, looking embarrassed. The scriptwriter added a roll. Just then, someone gave the new script to Leo. Leo looked expressionlessly at that person. Who are you? I'm the new director. Oh ho, this is the power of capital. Leo kept a straight face without speaking. Damian angrily, can't tolerate at all, not filming. Joanna's eyes teared up, very aggrieved. Leo, film. Joanna hadn't had time to smile. I silently added the next words. Me, not filming, still have to pay breach fees. Damian's anger instantly subsided. Right, can't give them money for nothing. While filming this drama, Leo hated not even glancing at Joanna. Damian kept being sarcastic. Joanna seems not to have done anything yet. Are we a bit excessive? Fuck. Damian suddenly cursed, looking at his phone. I leaned over and he immediately put away the phone. Too deliberate. I took out my phone. Lee group true and fake heiress. True heiress bullies fake heiress on set. This entry hung at hot search first. Inside were pictures, me and Joanna standing together, her bowing her head and crying in front of me, and Leo and Damian's impatient expressions towards her. So good at capturing, her crying in front of me was just a second. Them being impatient with her, that's because she can't act. Netizens love this kind of gossip, this purely hit their sweet spot. Oh yo, true and fake heiress, update more, update more. How could my Leo film emperor hate someone for no reason? It's the fake heiress's fault. Leo brainless fan. True heiress returns, suddenly has two brothers on her side. Fake heiress's days must be hard, pity the fake heiress. 9 out of 10 it's Joanna's doing. Trying to strike us with public opinion. Instantly feel they aren't excessive at all. My previous thought was simply saintly. Evil people need evil grinders. But comments also attacked Joanna. This drama has original work, know her role in original, already started cursing her, failed to steal chicken but lost rice. I looked around, only a few sarcastic words about me, not a big deal. Damian indignantly beside, definitely Joanna bought the hot search. I glanced at him. Then what? Your big brother sides with her, what can your anger do? Can you confront your big brother? Damian painfully held his forehead. If I knew, I would have entered the company back then. We were going to the makeup room to find Leo. Sean, who had been staring at his phone, suddenly excitedly jumped between us. Brother posted on Facebook. We pulled out phones while walking. Leo posted a photo of us three, caption, family should be neat and tidy. Netizens exploded again. Close look, this sister really resembles brother-sister open door I'm sister-in-law. Which sister-in-law upstairs, I want the other, dog head, don't be too greedy. Then I'll take the sister. Leo only replied to this one, please in a ball-up pose, run, death smile. Seeing his reply, netizens were even happier. Immediately pushed down Joanna's hot search. Actually, Joanna was also bouncing around, but she has no fan base, not many paid attention, except some with saintly hearts thinking this fake heiress suffered. But everyone didn't indulge her. Enough already. What is fake heiress? It's her own poor origin, got lucky occupying someone's position. This life only stand with true heiress. I don't even read novels where female lead is fake heiress. When we entered the makeup room, Leo had just finished removing makeup. Came over to take my phone, treasure support me. I handed him the phone, lay on his chair, comfortable. Over there Damian also typing on phone. Support. Not using my Facebook to post something? I sat up in shock, pulled Leo's slightly stiff hand. Get rich Aria, third brother up. This is my main account. Replying to Leo's. Got up fiercely, saw my favorite madam? Leo said sheepishly, I didn't notice. Guilty to silence. I thought, whatever, expose then. No harm. You're the sister? Ah damn I said why always delaying updates lately, turns out already got rich. Nonsense, I only delayed once or twice. Does Aria look down on our few melons and dates? I do. I want these few melons and dates. I was explaining when suddenly saw. Adrian? What are you joining for? Leo bent down, what is big brother doing? Onlooking netizens, oh ho 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 group photo no big brother. Damian, big brother is on fake heiress's side. His words sparked another round of discussion. Wealthy family a bit chaotic. Shocked, hide, second brother third brother sister still stand with you. I looked at Damian, he was beaming staring at phone. I just told big brother to withdraw Joanna's hot search. So, use then backstab? When we three reached home door, Adrian's car was parked at the door. He himself leaned on the car hood, a bit handsome. Suitable to draw into comic. He walked straight towards us. Aria. Reborn? Yes, I'll solve Joanna and pay corporation as soon as possible. I nodded. Inexplicably felt like mission accomplished. The three brothers all rejected Joanna, especially Adrian, forcibly removing Joanna from the Lee family registry. Adrian has the most say in the Lee family, no matter how Joanna coquettishly cried to Charles and Catherine, it was useless. But perhaps due to Charles and Catherine, he temporarily didn't drive Joanna out of the Lee family. Adrian's office. Damian, why not drive her out? Adrian glanced lightly at him, I guess she might still help Patrick, this time need both witnesses and evidence. Patrick is the investor from last time, Joanna's fiancé. If caught Joanna stealing secrets, can sue her. Leo, what about pay corporation? Adrian, a bit troublesome, but can solve. Then good. Except Adrian, we three sprawled on the sofa. Good, now nothing's wrong. Leo, yes. Then now can talk about what I did after bankruptcy in your previous life. I guessed myself, perhaps I saw their miserable state, couldn't bear and helped them. For a while no one spoke. I looked left and right, instantly sat straight. Why are their eyes red? This makes me uncomfortable. I'm fine here, their looks at me like I'm dying soon. Your previous life matters have nothing to do with current me. You were reborn, I wasn't. Finally, Leo adjusted his emotions and talked about previous life. Roughly, after their tragedy, I happened to be nearby, picked them up and took home. I kept supporting them. In getting along, this family affection naturally developed. Leo only said this much. I thought, happened nearby? With my self-understanding, it was intentional. He probably didn't finish, looking at them. Finally I must have had an accident. Whatever, not important. Previous life is previous life, all past. Damian came over and hugged me. Joanna was really sent in by Lee Corporation's legal department. This time Charles and Catherine were truly disappointed in her. They lost a daughter, but that doesn't mean they'll accept me. Towards me, they were somewhat reserved, like treating a guest. Pay Corporation. After Joanna went in, Patrick was mentally abnormal, making consecutive mistakes in major decisions. Of course, Adrian also sabotaged. Pay Corporation, much inferior, started declining. Finally, Adrian acquired Pay Corporation. Get rich Aria, love each other. Today is my birthday, Adrian forcibly pulled us to take photo, said last time we didn't include him, must repost once. Just us four. I sat in the middle, wearing the small crown they made for me. The three surrounded me like stars around the moon. Happy birthday, sister. This big family is to charm who to death. Saw the fake heiress matter, can only say, luckily big brother Adrian turned back. Got rich, don't allow discontinuation. Oh Aria. Don't be such a killjoy. Wish Aria New Year endless inspiration, hand speed soaring.